Hello everyone, welcome to the TSS. So let us learn about HTML forms and the HTML form elements, friends. So in the last class we had discussed about HTML forms and its theory. Okay, so to use that HTML forms we need to learn HTML elements which are used inside that HTML form. Okay, so let us go back. So this is the class which we have dealt in the last class. So this is the form tag. In between form elements must be there. Okay, so what are all the form elements means? Some of the form elements I had mentioned here: input, select, text area, button, data list, field set, legend, right? So among these we will see input tag, friends. Okay, let us learn input tag, what it will do. So the HTML input tag is very important tag used to collect various forms of user data. Okay, so normally I will come across so many things in the web page, some radio buttons, some check boxes, some drop downs. We need to select a wide variety of formats. Okay, so all those things are selection only, all those things are data only. We are giving our data in the form of different formats. So in if you are selecting a radio button, you are selecting one option on the form, like that. Okay, so like that we are the input tag is used to collect various forms of user data. Let us say one type of data we will see: text input. If a user want to give text input to the web page, then so the format will be like this. So we need to first mention input and we need to mention type. So this type attribute is very important. So actually this type attribute distinguishes different forms of input data. If this attribute type is equal to text, then this input will accept only text data. Okay, right? So and then name attribute, it's very important, friends. Name is equal to first name. It must and should we have to give, we should give this name attribute. If you miss this name attribute, and if you click after entering all this your data in the form, if you click submit, then uh, the data will doesn't actually the form doesn't collect this particular input. Wherever you miss the name attribute, that particular input, the form will doesn't collect your input and handed over to the server side script. The name is very important. Whatever input element has name, that element text only will be handed over by the HTML form to the server side script. Okay, so that is the purpose of name. So by referencing this name, only the server side script will handle the data. Okay, so it acts as a reference, right? And then if you if a user want to give data in the form of radio button, so then the type should be radio, and the name for every input tag name must be there. Okay, so you can use your custom name, right? So its gender value is equal to male. Okay, so this value is the initial value. Okay, initial value. So if this radio button is checked, then you are selecting male, like that. Okay, so all these things I will show it to you practically, no problem. So on the if you want to give checkbox input, the type should be checkbox. Only one thing will change, friends, that in the type attribute, if you want text input, and so to decide what input you should give will be decided by type attribute. So if you want to give text input, type should be text. If you want to give radio button input, the input in the form of radio button, then you need to specify type is equal to radio, like that, like that. So there are so many type attribute and their values: button, checkbox, color, date. And in HTML5, so many new types are also introduced. The color, okay, in the earlier HTML4 there is no color is there, but in HTML5 color is introduced. Email is also introduced. Okay, it strictly follows email. If you give some other formats, it won't accept. Okay, that is called form validation. It's a very important concept in HTML forms, form validation. So form validation means we will define the inputs type. So if other types will come, that form didn't validate. Okay, so the type is file, hidden. The type, if you want to give the image, so the type should be image, like that. If you the type, if you want to give the date as an input, then time should be date, like that. So many, so many, so many. So input type submit, this is very important. So you need to submit the form after giving all those inputs, right? Text, time, okay, text and password. Here password, these are all very frequently used things: text, password, submit, like these things. Okay, let us move towards VS Code, friends. Let us see it practically, uh, one by one. So here is our ready-made form. So in the body tags we need to define form tag, form. Okay, so in between HTML form we need to give form elements. Okay, so what we had learned now, that is input, input form. Okay, input tag. So input tag, what type of input we will do now? Type, type is equal to, let us say, text, and then name must and should, let us say first name. Okay, okay, this is enough. Here you can specify to the user and enter your first name. Okay, so lot of text. Okay, no problem, right? This is the input tag. So this is the input tag, and this is the additional information which we are giving to the user for understanding purpose. So input type is text, that means it will accept only text as an input, and the name, so with which name this text should be identified, that should be given here. Okay, it is your like, you will give, you will name it as you like. Okay, friends, right? Okay, let us save it. Here nothing is appearing. If you save, it will appear. Yes, you can see now, enter your first name. So this part is visible here now. Okay, and then in the input tag will be here. Okay, so it is displayed here. No, you can see. So one box, rectangular box comes up. So this is the result of this input tag. Okay, so in this box what we have to give? So we had defined that box as text, so it will only accept text. Even though you give number, it will convert it as a text. So let us give some Veera. Okay, So I had given Veera. So there is no submit button. Uh, we didn't go to that much level now. So we are just making a demo of input tag only, how it should appear on the web page. Okay, this is the basic input tag, friends. Okay, so like that, if you want mm, to give radio input, okay, select your favorite food. Okay, then you need to make use of input type is equal to, that is also type is equal to radio. Okay, radio, because we have so many choices with us. Okay, favorite food. So if you want to give select one food among four, then you need to present that four foods. Okay, so in that cases we can use radio input. Okay, name is equal to mm, food, mm, food type. Okay, and then value, value is equal to what we will give, say idli. Okay, idli, and then here the text for that radio button is idli. Okay, right. So again I am explaining, select your favorite food will be displayed like this. You enter your first name, like that it will be displayed, and this input tag is there. No, we had defined it as type as radio, and name we had food type, and value we had given idli, right? So it will display it as a radio button will appear, and then by the side of radio button this text will come. Okay, that is the meaning of that code. Let us save it. Okay, here it came. So it has uh, rendered inline. Okay, we need to break that one. So in order to break that line, we need to make use of break element. Then now render it. Here it came up. So again one break element. Use one break element so that some gap will be there. Okay, so enter your first name. Yes, I had entered, and then select your favorite food. So this part comes up, and then one radio button is appeared because we had given type as radio. So you have to select this one. Okay, like that. Okay, okay, friends, and so the same shall be used, also used as a checkbox. Okay, checkbox. So checkbox, name food type, this is also idli, then checkbox will come like that, puri. Okay, so select your favorite food. So let us give here also two breaks, because to render properly with the line breaks it will come vertically. Okay, now you can see this is the checkbox input, it is radio input. Okay, it is checkbox. So in checkbox so many options will be selected simultaneously, but in the radio we need to select only one form, that's it. So it's not able to select multiple choices. So that is the idea of radio, difference between radio and checkbox. In the radio button type input, among the many choices we can able to select only one choice, but in the checkbox we can select multiple choices, friends. Okay, so that is the idea. So so let me do that thing also. Okay, so we need to give it multiple times. Input type food, no. Let us give it some one more time. Food type radio, and we can make it as, let us say, puri, and then one more input we will give, uh, say make it as puri, and it is say dosha. Right, say dosha, and you must be thinking that I am heavy eater. Not uh, not really. I'm a moderate person. Okay, for having fun, I took this example, friends. Okay, let us now render it, save it. Here you can see it is not properly parsed. Let me use one break here so that it will be properly rendered. BR. Wherever you need break, you can use break. Okay, I'm sorry. Save. Here now you have to enter your first name, select your favorite food. So what type of food you will select? So you can't able to select two foods. You need to select only one food, either dosha or puri or idli, because we had given this input as radio. Okay. So if you select this one, idli will be unselected. If you select this one, puri will be unselected. So we need to select only one out of three. So, but in case of checkboxes, it will be not like that. So let us copy. So let us copy it entirely and paste here. Let me add some break here. Uh, and in I need to make it as checkbox. All are checkboxes, right? Checkbox, checkbox, checkbox. Okay, now just save. Here you can see select your favorite food will comes up. So it is asking for user input. So you can select multiple, no problem. Idli is also favorite, puri is also favorite, dosa is also favorite. You can select all these three at the same time, and you can submit it to the server side script. So that is the idea. So between the difference between the checkbox and radio. So radio buttons will accept only one input, but the checkboxes will accept more input. And then radio button, checkbox, submit button. So very important. Let us see the submit button. Okay. Let us, for interactive purpose, let us take last name also. Okay, so I am copying this little bit of code and making it as a last name because I am lazy to type everything. Last name text, and it is also last name. Okay, so enter your first name. So next, at the bottom, last name will also comes up. Okay, and do save. So enter your first name, enter your last name, and let me make use of password also. Enter your password, and email also, because in one class we will able to color, we will able to cover all those things. So make input type as email. Okay, and name this tag as email. Okay, mail, that is enough. And its password. So this is very important, friends. Password should be, type should be password only. So it will hide your password, PASS. That's it. Okay, I had saved all these input. Tags comes up. Enter your first name. Okay, Veera. Enter your last name, Raghava. Enter your email. Okay, so some ABC at the rate gmail.com, and then enter your password. So some password I had given. You can see the difference. So enter your password, we had defined it as type is equal to password. That's why the characters are not visible. So that is the importance of type password. So rest of all those is appearing on the rectangular boxes. Then okay, so it is asking for select. These are also in different types of inputs, friends. It is rectangular box input, but it is radio input, radio circle input. So different forms of take collecting user data, that is simple. So select your favorite food. Say you can use this input text name for this also, but if you want to present so many options in front of user, then radio button is the way. Okay, so select your favorite food, say idli, and then select your favorite food, and then here I will select, say both puri and dosha. Okay, so and then what next, what we need to submit it. Okay, then for that we need to define one more input, type is equal to submit. Very 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 important, submit. And name, so name is name, not name, value. Okay, value. So on the button which value uh, you want. Okay, so enter. Okay, like that. So let me show the difference. Okay, first, and then I will modify it. Hey, what happened? Oh, I'm sorry. It was rendered in front. Okay, so at the end we will put this input tag and then save. Yes, I have saved. I had pressed Ctrl S. So now you can able to see our form. Let me expand our page. This is the form. First name, last name, some email, some password, say idli, say dosha, puri, and this button is called submit button, and I named it as enter. If you doesn't give the value, it is by default it will take, by default it will take submit as the, here you can see submit value text on that button will take submit. Okay, text to be submit, right? So now what we had done in this class, we we learned the how to enter rectangular box inputs, that is text and email type, password type, radio type, and checkbox type. At the end we need to submit this form, so these collected elements to server side script by pressing submit. If you press submit, you can able to observe that this refresh will will be done. Okay, you please observe here. When I click submit, you please observe here. After clicking submit, the action will be displayed here. Okay, submit here. The form is submitting, refreshing and submitting it to a server. That action is going here, but the simple button has don't have okay, say some button. Okay, uh, click me. So button tag is also there. I am explaining the differences between the submit button and the normal button. Let me save. So here also one button like thing came, but if you click that one, it doesn't refresh. Hey. So it is an event. So it is also getting refreshed because I am using this server, no live server. In the normal scenario, it won't. Okay. So in the normal sense, okay, I am telling in the normal sense because we are set up it as live server, so it is functioning like that. But if normal page rendering, the button will not refresh, but submit will refresh because the submitting functionality is what after clicking submit, all this form data should be handed over to the server side script, right? So this is it, guys. So in this class we had studied various important input types practically also. So and in the next class we will discuss form attributes and then we will go for server side. Okay, till then bye bye. Yours Veera signing off. Thank you for listening, friends.